I'm Kate Cutco, and this is my 1963 Airstream that I have converted into a traveling art classroom that I call the Atomic Classroom. I discovered this trailer. I call her Mossy. I discovered Mossy in the driveway of a friend here in Bowdoinham, and I convinced him that he should take her out of the puddle that she was living in and sell her to me to turn into a traveling art classroom. So that's what I did. It works well with my spirit of recycling. I really am committed to using recycled materials in my art. So it feels like Mossy is recycled. She's got a new life with me traveling around making art. I had a chance to get the aluminum sign from G&G Gas and Repair that had closed here on Main Street. So I used a piece of G&G's sign to patch a couple holes. They remind me of George and Irene, and they're a little piece of Bowdoinham, and they're recycled. For my license plate, I went with I'm a 63 because Mossy came off the assembly line in 63 and I came off the assembly line in 63. Two things that I spent money on initially to please my parents. I replaced the axles and the tires to make sure that I would be safe pulling the trailer, and to make myself happy, I spent some money on a nice logo. Marty Braun, who's a graphic artist who lives out on Peaks Island, really captured the retro vibe that I was going for. So my idea was to have a mobile classroom so that I could tow the space to any number of pretty locations, and there's no shortage in Maine. I wanted to be able to take the trailer to places that didn't have electricity. So I put a big solar panel on the roof, and that allows me to run some lights and some outlets, and it allows me to go to some remote places. So we're here on the Bowdoinham waterfront, and it's just an example of where I can take it to have a party or a class or a workshop. People can also have me bring it to their driveway. Don't worry about cleanup because the classroom, the mess just drives away when the kids are done. So this is one of my classes that can be for kids or for adults, and it was the very first class that I taught inside the Atomic Classroom, and it's a little shrine, Frida Kahlo portrait, and it's made, again, recycled materials. It's made out of an Altoid tin together with aluminum. So aluminum's really fun to work with. You can buy aluminum, but you can also use tin cans. We all have a lot of returnables these days, so it's nice to find some things to do with aluminum. My earrings are also made out of tin cans. One of the other materials I discovered during my trailer restoration was aluminum tape. So I found a way to incorporate that into this little Mexican shrine project, and also using the pull tabs from a soda can. This thin aluminum is really easy to work with. It can be cut with scissors, and then anything pointy can be made to make a mark on it. Then the sky's the limit for decorating something, because, for instance, this stylus just makes nice marks over a piece of felt. Also, a mortar and pestle you can use to create indentations in aluminum. That's how I did my earrings, to make the surface of the aluminum bulge out, so that that's what creates this heart image here. Aluminum can also be painted. So these are alcohol inks that I have my students paint on the aluminum. When we were first shut down this spring inside, I was disappointed not to be able to have people inside the classroom to gather to make things like this. So I created a few kits. This is all the supplies you would need to make one of these Frida Kahlo shrines, and I can pop this in the mail to a student who's interested in making it at home. The supplies in the box are a piece of felt, enough aluminum sheets to make 2 shrines, probably 2 shrines, and one of the ornaments or corazones, an Altoid tin, some of that nifty aluminum tape I was telling you about, my atomic classroom business card, a couple portraits of Frida, and what these are called in Mexico, loteria, lottery. They're little cards. I think they might be traded like, I'm not exactly sure the history, but they're called loteria, and I think some of these would make a nice image inside the frame with a Mexican traditional image. And I give you instructions and a private link to a YouTube video that I've created on how to do it. I'm also thinking about other kits, how to respond in this pandemic. I want to still be making art, and I bet other people want to be making art as well, because it makes us all get through this. It's also important to me to support my fellow artists, and a lot of folks have studio space, but they don't necessarily have classroom space or gallery space. So when I created this atomic classroom, I wanted to create something that I could loan to other artists. So I wanted to make it convertible to different medias, and if an artist wanted to take a class on location, I am dedicated to loaning the atomic classroom for that purpose. I'm a seamstress. I've been sewing for years, so making my own cushions for the trailer was something that I could do fairly easily and cheaply. And I was happy to find this bench at the recycling barn and created the perfect stool for one more student to sit around the table. I can convert my cushions and my table into a queen-size bed if I take my trailer to a state park or somewhere where I want to stay overnight. It's a pretty comfortable space when this becomes a bed. I say it takes a village to restore an Airstream, and this village was awesome. So thank you to the Shimbranowitz family, Pete Feeney, Doug Turtelot, Brett Thompson, John Dunn, Brian Stade, Steve Balboni, and all my cheerleaders. Darren Carey was the captain of my cheerleading squad. When I was ready to give up, he reminded me that I shouldn't. And all my girlfriends. So thank you to all of those people, and don't stop, because I'm still gonna need encouragement to keep this going as pandemics and other things get in my way. Thank you, Bowdoinham.